Sigma males are different from the rest. They don't lead like alpha males or follow like betas. They move quietly, think deeply, and choose their own path. They are known for being calm, private, and self-reliant. But even the strongest lone wolves can carry wounds no one sees. When a Sigma male goes through pain, whether it's heartbreak, betrayal, loss, or hardship, he doesn't always show it. He doesn't talk about it much. He doesn't break down in front of people. Instead, he holds it all inside. That pain begins to shape how he thinks and acts. For Sigma males, suffering doesn't always lead to loud reactions. It leads to silence, to reflection, and often to change. The more they suffer, the more their true traits start to shift. Some traits become stronger. Others become darker. But either way, the signs are there, if you know what to look for. This video is about those signs, about how pain leaves its mark on Sigma males. It doesn't always destroy them, but it does shape them. It makes them sharper, colder, or more distant. And sometimes it helps them grow in ways most people wouldn't understand. If you've ever known a Sigma male who seems harder than he used to be, if you are one yourself and feel like you've changed after going through too much, then what you'll hear next will make a lot of sense. We're going to break down 6 specific traits that show up in Sigma males who have suffered deeply. These aren't random habits. These are real changes that come from real pain. Let's begin with the first trait, a deepened form of isolation that becomes more than just a love of solitude. Trait number 1, deepened isolation. Sigma males are naturally private. They don't mind being alone. In fact, they prefer it. They feel most at peace when they're by themselves, away from the noise of the world. But when a Sigma male goes through too much pain, that peaceful solitude turns into something much heavier. Deep isolation. At first, it may look the same. He's still quiet. He still spends time alone. But now it's not just about comfort. It's about protection. He doesn't just enjoy the silence. He hides in it. After suffering, he starts to believe that being around people is dangerous. They might hurt him again. They might betray him again. So he pulls away, not just from strangers, but even from the few people he used to trust. This kind of isolation can go unnoticed. To others, it just looks like the Sigma male doing what he always does, keeping to himself. But inside, he feels different. He starts to lose interest in connection. Conversations feel like a risk. Letting someone in feels like setting himself up to get hurt again. So he cuts ties slowly and quietly. The problem with deep isolation is that it can change how someone sees the world. The Sigma male might start to believe that no one truly understands him, that no one is worth the effort, that being alone is the only way to stay safe. And once that mindset sets in, it's hard to break. This can lead to feelings of emptiness. He might stop laughing as much, stop looking forward to things, stop caring. His days become quiet routines with no surprises, no risks, and no real joy. But to him, it feels better than opening himself up again. What's worse is that this isolation often becomes a habit. The longer he stays away from people, the harder it becomes to return. It's like building a wall brick by brick until one day he can't even see past it. Still, the Sigma male doesn't usually complain. He doesn't reach out. He doesn't explain. He just disappears. And the world rarely notices because he's always been quiet. But deep down, he may be hoping for something different. Maybe not a crowd. Maybe not constant attention. But one person who sees through the silence. One person who doesn't try to fix him but just stays. That's the hardest part about deepened isolation. It starts as protection, but over time it becomes a prison. Trait number 2. Heightened SelfReliance. Sigma males pride themselves on doing things their way. They don't lean on others. They don't ask for help unless they truly need it. But when they've suffered too much, this self-reliance doesn't just grow, it hardens. It turns into a belief that they must handle everything alone, no matter the cost. This shift is often triggered by betrayal or disappointment. Maybe someone let them down when they needed support. Maybe they trusted the wrong person. Whatever the case, they decide it won't happen again, so they stop trusting. They stop expecting anything from anyone. At first, this makes them more efficient. They get better at solving problems. They handle stress quietly. They become strong in ways others admire. But behind that strength is a heavy truth. They're carrying too much, and they refuse to share the load. Even when they're struggling, Sigma males who've suffered don't show it. They keep pushing, working, and surviving. They may not sleep well. They may feel constant pressure, but they still won't reach out. They see it as weakness, or worse, as risk. The danger here is burnout. No one can carry everything forever. But Sigma males keep trying, even when their body and mind are sending warning signs. They may get sick more often. They may lose interest in things, but they ignore it. They don't stop. They also struggle to connect with others on a deep level. They might keep relationships on the surface because they don't want to rely on anyone emotionally. Even in close relationships, they'll act like they're fine until the stress finally catches up. This kind of self-reliance can lead to loneliness. Not just being alone, but feeling like no one could ever understand them. They may start to believe that asking for help is pointless, that no one else is capable of helping anyway. But that belief is false. There's strength in knowing when to stand alone and when to let someone stand beside you. The hardest thing for a Sigma male to learn after suffering is that asking for help isn't weakness. It's survival. It's strategy. And sometimes it's exactly what he needs. Trait number 3, suppressed emotions. Sigma males aren't known for being emotional. They don't cry in front of others. They don't make dramatic statements. They stay calm, even under pressure. But when a Sigma male has suffered too much, his emotions don't just stay hidden. They get locked away. At first, this might seem like strength. People see him as composed. He doesn't lose his temper. He doesn't fall apart. But inside, things are different. He feels pain like everyone else. The difference is he refuses to show it. And over time, those hidden feelings start to build up. Suppressing emotions doesn't make them disappear. It just pushes them deeper. The Sigma male may not even realize how much he's carrying. He may convince himself that he's over something when he's not. He may say he's fine when he's actually hurting. This emotional pressure often finds other ways to come out. He might feel angry without knowing why. He might feel distant from the people around him. He might lose interest in things that once made him happy. It's not that he doesn't care anymore, it's that he's emotionally shut down. This can also affect his health. The body responds to long-term stress and hidden pain. He might struggle with sleep, fatigue, or unexplained tension. These are signs that something inside him needs attention. Relationships suffer too. When someone is always holding back, it's hard to get close. People may feel like they're talking to a wall. They might sense something's wrong, but not know what it is. The Sigma male, trying to protect himself, ends up pushing people away. He may not do it on purpose. He just doesn't know how to let his guard down. He was hurt before, and now he sees vulnerability as a risk. So he chooses silence. But silence doesn't always bring peace. The truth is, emotions aren't the enemy. Feeling sadness, anger, or fear is part of being human. Suppressing them doesn't make a man stronger. Facing them does. For Sigma males, healing starts with honesty. Not always with others, but at least with themselves. Writing, reflection, or speaking with someone they trust can help. Even a few words at a time can open a door. The goal isn't to become emotional. It's to stop carrying all the weight in silence. Trait number 4, overcompensation through achievement. When Sigma males suffer, they don't always slow down. Sometimes they do the opposite. They speed up. They work harder, set bigger goals, push themselves to the limit. On the surface, this looks like drive, but often it's something else, overcompensation. Instead of facing their pain, Sigma males may try to outrun it. They believe that if they achieve more, the pain will fade. If they stay busy, they won't have to think about what they've been through. So they pour everything into work, money, fitness, or status. This can lead to impressive success. People may admire how focused and disciplined they are. But what they don't see is the reason behind it. The Sigma male isn't chasing goals for joy. He's chasing them to feel in control. Pain can make people feel powerless. For a Sigma male, achievement becomes a way to take that power back. But no matter how much he achieves, the feeling of peace doesn't come. It's never enough. He reaches one goal and moves straight to the next. There's no rest. no celebration. This pattern can be exhausting. It can lead to burnout. The Sigma male keeps going until his body or mind forces him to stop. And when that happens, all the pain he tried to avoid comes rushing in. The deeper issue is that he's tying his self-worth to his success. He starts to believe that if he's not achieving, he's not valuable. That belief is dangerous, because eventually something will go wrong. A goal will fail. A plan won't work out. And when it does, the Sigma male may feel like a failure, not just in work, but as a person. That's why it's so important to understand the motive behind the work. Ambition is good. Discipline is powerful. But when it's used to cover pain, it becomes a trap. The Sigma male needs to ask himself, why am I pushing so hard? What am I really trying to prove? That question isn't weakness. It's the first step toward healing. Achievement should come from purpose, not pain. When Sigma males understand this, they can still aim high, but with peace, not pressure. Trait number 5, distrust in relationships. Sigma males are naturally private. They don't open up quickly, and they don't let just anyone into their life. But after suffering too much, their quiet nature turns into something more guarded, distrust. If they've been betrayed, hurt, or abandoned in the past, Sigma males start to see relationships as risky. They might still interact with people, but the real connection is gone. They become more distant. Conversations stay on the surface. They keep their emotions locked away. This kind of distrust doesn't always come from bad people. Sometimes it comes from people who simply couldn't be there when it mattered most. That disappointment leaves a mark. It teaches the Sigma male that opening up leads to pain. So he builds walls. He doesn't talk about how he feels. He avoids deep emotional moments. He acts like everything is fine, even when it's not. To the outside world, he seems calm and strong. Inside, he's guarded and alone. Romantic relationships become especially hard. The Sigma male may care deeply but act cold. He may want connection but pull away when it starts to feel real. This confuses partners. They don't know why he's distant, and he doesn't know how to explain it. He might push people away before they can get too close. Or he might test them, looking for signs they'll let him down. This constant fear of being hurt again stops him from building anything meaningful. And even when someone proves trustworthy, it still feels hard to believe. This cycle creates more loneliness. The Sigma male wants to trust, but his past won't let him. He ends up watching life from a distance, never fully letting anyone in. But healing is possible. It starts with small steps. Trust isn't given all at once, it's built over time. The Sigma male needs to learn that not everyone will hurt him. Some people are worth the risk. It also helps to choose people who respect boundaries, who don't rush him, who show up when they say they will. These people slowly prove that connection can be safe again. Distrust is a wound, and like all wounds, it can heal with time, patience, and care. Trait number 6, seeking meaning and growth. Not all Sigma males stay broken after suffering. In fact, some of them grow stronger. Pain changes them, yes, but not always in a bad way. Some Sigma males turn their deepest wounds into something meaningful. They look for purpose in their pain. This is one of the most powerful traits of Sigma males who've suffered too much. They don't always stay bitter, cold, or distant. Over time, many of them begin to reflect. They start to ask questions. Why did this happen? What does this mean? How can I use this to become better? Sigma males are thinkers. They like to go deep. When they've been through enough, they often turn that pain inward, not to blame themselves, but to understand. They're not looking for sympathy. They're looking for answers. And when they start to understand the pain, they also begin to grow from it. This doesn't happen quickly. It usually comes after a long period of silence, isolation, and personal struggle. But slowly the Sigma male starts to change. He might become more focused. He might develop a new sense of purpose. Or he might become more patient, wise, and grounded than ever before. This growth often happens in private. No big speeches, no big displays. The Sigma male just moves differently. He becomes more thoughtful in how he speaks, what he does, and who he allows into his life. Some Sigma males start to help others after their own pain. They become mentors, quiet guides, or even creators. They write, build, teach, or share what they've learned. Not for attention, but because they want their pain to mean something. They want to make sure it wasn't for nothing. This kind of growth is rare. It's quiet. It's not always easy to see, but it's powerful. It shows that even the deepest wounds can become something useful, something that adds to their strength instead of taking from it. Sigma males who grow through pain often carry a calm energy. They've been through the worst, and they've survived. That gives them a quiet confidence, a deep sense of inner peace. Not because life is easy, but because they've learned how to keep going when it's hard. This is what makes them truly strong, not the absence of pain, but the way they rise from it. Every Sigma male has a story. Some of those stories include pain, deep, lasting pain. They've been betrayed, abandoned, broken, or forgotten. But they didn't break in the way most people expect. They just changed. In this video, we've seen how suffering shapes Sigma males in powerful ways. It doesn't make them weak. It doesn't take away their strength. But it does leave marks, traits that reveal what they've been through, even if they never say it out loud. They isolate more. They rely only on themselves. They hide their emotions. They chase success to cover pain. They build walls around their heart. And yet through it all, some of them find a way to grow, to turn pain into power, to become wiser and more grounded than before. These traits aren't flaws. They're signs. Signs of someone who's endured more than most. Someone who learned to survive in silence. Someone who knows what it means to hurt deeply and still move forward. But healing is still important, even for Sigma males, maybe especially for them. Because healing doesn't mean changing who they are. It means letting go of what no longer helps. It means learning to trust a little, feel a little, and speak when it matters. If you're a Sigma male who's been through too much, know this: your strength is real. But your pain is real too. And it deserves your attention. Not so it controls you, but so it can finally let you go. There's honor in surviving. But there's power in healing.